Orgeron down in Florida called out somebody who trolled him by saying "Roll Tide." I kid you not. I'm going to play the video because old Coach O took offense to that, and he tried to teach somebody about respect. So here's Ed Orgeron.
By the way, if I'm Ed Orgeron, I'm hoping that Alabama beats the Jesus out of Ole Miss each and every year because they got rid of me. I don't understand that.
Ole Miss or LSU?
Or excuse me, LSU. Yeah.
Oh, Ole Miss does not. I mean, Ed Orgeron does not look back on getting fired by Ole Miss with any LSU with any sort of bitterness. I'll play you a quick one.
Do you remember the interview that he had just come from the meeting with the athletic director? And this is before his last game coached, and he was jolly and good with it. And I'd been told before that interview on ESPN on the sidelines that was it for him. A very good source, and he met with the athletic director like 7 a.m. before the game. He was fine with it because he walked away with $30 million and he was still an LSU fan.
He openly says that when he was told about his buyout, he said, "What time you want me to leave or what door you want me out of?" And so, all right, so here's what he decided to do while he was running in typical Ed Orgeron fashion, shirtless in Florida. So, because that's what
Ed Orgeron. Orgeron, did you know, actually is Latin for who needs a shirt?
I mean, he does seem to like to go shirtless a lot. I'm just saying. But this is Ed Orgeron. Here, we're going to play the clip real quick. It's 35 seconds.
Hey, Coach, sorry to bother you.
All right, man.
Here we go, baby. Roll Tide.
All right, here we go. Not really.
I know.
What was that about?
Look, I respect you as a person. I was a big fan.
What was that about?
I respect you as a fan.
I wouldn't take those Tigers to you after I took a picture of you.
Understand.
Have a good day, man.
Hey.
Where you from?
I'm from Alabama.
What part?
Tuscaloosa, actually.
You
So you got to understand that ain't nothing
cool.
towards you.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But look, here, just respect.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what the fuck, man? Hey, if you're from LSU, you wouldn't go to Nick Saban and say go Tigers, would you?
I think some people would, but
You would.
Okay, he seriously almost got the hell beat out of him. That guy
Orgeron was ready to beat the
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. That guy almost got the hell beat out of him. He was that close. That ending in the phone dropping in the sand and him going, ah. I mean, that was close. What the H? Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. What the H, brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design.
What the H?
Wow, I never worked hard on anything. What a cool life.
For real? The Dave Hooker Show with Caleb Calhoun. Represented by T. Scott Jones. BanksandJones.com. Tennessee's trial attorney. From the Ted Russell Ford Lincoln Studio, East Tennessee's #1 volume and customer service dealer. Ted Russell Ford and TedRussellLincoln.net. Now to the Dave Hooker Show on Off the Hook Sports.
Caleb, let me ask you this. Was Ed Orgeron justified in going back and saying something to him? Tennessee Junior says, that's great. Love O. He's funny as hell. Yes, he is.
Okay, here's the only reason I will say he was justified. That guy wanted that. He wanted to go viral. He knew that Ed Orgeron might say something, right? Don't you think he was trying to get Ed Orgeron to say something? Like, but let me ask you. Okay, let's just throw out some other coaches. He brought up Nick Saban. If someone said "Go Tigers" to Nick Saban, wouldn't Nick Saban be like, "Oh, so you're an LSU fan? I'm real proud of you for being an LSU." He'd say it like so. He wouldn't say anything. Right. Steve Spurrier, if you said "Go Vols," he'd laugh, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd go. Not back in the 90s. Wasn't Go Vols in. It was Go Gators. You know, Gators did pretty well down there in Swamp. A couple of other comments on the message board. David says, Coach O is the GOAT. I don't care what anyone thinks. He's a class act. You all know he drinks 24 Monsters a day. This is true. It was actually Red Bulls. Maybe he's moved over to Monster. Sam says, I'd get my ass beat by Ed O just for the story. Maybe that wouldn't be so bad.
You want to get
was he justified in what he did? What the H? And it's brought to you by Rick Terry Jewelry Design.
Having been in the jewelry industry for a long time in the Knoxville community, I saw a need for a jeweler, a real jeweler.
Our ability to do these designs has really been based on the customers bringing new things in and challenging us as a store. Our goal is not to tell anybody what they want. Our goal is to listen to what they want and then help them get there.
Schedule your consultation today to get your special someone the perfect custom gift just in time for the holidays.
All right. So, Caleb, was he justified in? Was Ed Orgeron justified in going back and talking to this goofball?
No, that was ridiculous. But like, you expect it from Ed Orgeron. But one, he acts like LSU is the only place he coached at. You're right. He coached at Ole Miss. He coached at USC. He was an assistant at Tennessee for a hot minute. Coached with the Saints. It's like. You're like, oh, how is Roll Tide disrespectful to him? He hasn't been at LSU in 4 years. Nick Saban hasn't been at Alabama in 3 years. So it's like, I think the funny thing is, I think Ed really did take it personally.
No, that's not. He's not putting on. He didn't know that anybody was recording. He did take that personally. There's no question. You think he may have. He did.
And also,
he almost beat his rear into the sand.
You think Coach O's on roids?
He's on test.
I don't know what test is.
Testosterone.
Oh, is he like that dude? Is he like at those places at the gym where like they give you those extra testosterone stuff when you're working out? You think he's taking those?
No, I mean anybody can get tests now. I mean, there's several providers in Knoxville. There's several providers in East Tennessee. I mean, I was tested for tests. And mine was through the roof. Mine was actually the highest of any 50-year-old they had ever tested.
Well,
I asked the girl, I was like, have you ever, I don't want to share. I'm just, want to tell you that it was the highest at this particular place that they had ever tested with 50.
Well, I bet at 63 Ed Orgeron
1150. I'll go ahead and tell you it was 1150.
Okay. I bet Ed Orgeron's laps even yours at 63. I think, yes, David Michael says it the best. Testosterone and cocaine. Can I just play the quick clip of Ed Orgeron telling the story of him getting fired?
Yeah, I'm good with that. By the way, might have also been a couple of pops in there. The alcohol persuasion, because I'm going to go ahead and tell you that's why Marlon Walls was not a ball. Go ahead.
But does he pop before he runs in the heat? That seems a little dangerous.
I don't know. Does he take a swig before he goes on a recruiting visit? The answer is yes.
Okay. Here he is telling the story of why he got fired.
Good. I got to tell you, we had a meeting. Say, Coach, things are not going well. No, Ray Charles can see that, brother.
Ray Charles.
It gets better.
And they were good. And Scott Woodward is a friend of mine today. Really, really, a lot of respect for the way they handled me.
So what's next?
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
That is fantastic. You know who else said that to me on the air live? It was John Calipari talked about leaving the Nets.
Really?
We had him on live. I guess, I don't know why. Was it maybe he was coaching at Memphis? It was like a preview. You used to be able, you'd get all the opposing coaches on that Tennessee would play. And you don't get them anymore because they're too good. But I remember I asked him what happened with the Nets. He goes, well, we didn't win enough games, and I was told to leave, so they wrote me a $4 million check, and I left. And I was just so taken aback because I was really young. Do you remember what year that was? I mean, that would have been.
He was fired by the Nets in '99, and then I believe he spent a year with the Sixers before getting hired by Memphis after that. So he was an assistant for Larry Brown with the Sixers for a year.
So I would have been new to and I was in a fill-in role. So that would have been, 2001, 2002? When he
got hired at Memphis in 2000. And then his first year at Memphis was Jerry Green's last at Tennessee.
I remember I was filling in for Jimmy Himes. I was with John Wilkerson, and we both looked at each other like, well, that's a surprising answer. But it does kind of twist things a little bit because we all talk about wins and losses. But Caleb, is Ed Orgeron a winner at life?
Is he what Butch Jones wants to be?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, is he? Is he a winner at life? Because he wasn't a winner as a coach.
I mean, he was though. He's a national champion.
Point.
I mean, Edo got his national championship. He's a bachelor in his 60s, living in sunny Florida, just hanging out on the beach with his money. My only question is he going to continue winning at life? Or, I mean, I'm telling you, we talk about broke athletes. I'm not so sure there's not going to be a documentary about Ed Orgeron being broke in about 5 years. What do you think he does? What's Ed Orgeron's daily routine? He gets up in the morning, he goes for a run, then he goes to a bar and hangs out on the beach shirtless at a beach bar in Florida. And he finds some woman to pick up and he's like, "Hey, I won a national championship. I'm Coach O. Want to go back to bed with me?"
Sam has some insight into Coach O's daily routine. Ed O seems like the type of guy to drink until 4 a.m. and then wake up at 7 to run. Perhaps.
Okay, how about this? And Dave, you were out, so we weren't able to talk about this as much, but I'm sure you've seen some of it. What's grosser to imagine? Ed Orgeron's bachelor life or Bill Belichick's relationship with his new girlfriend?
Yeah, the latter.
That one?
Yeah, because he's all flabby and stuff.
So, well, yeah, true, but I feel like they're into this. At least Orgeron seems to like actually be going for a little bit older woman. I think Orgeron goes for women in their 30s, maybe, and 40s.
Yeah, but if you had to watch intimate moments, if
I had to watch an intimate moment, Belichick and his girlfriend and Coach O.
If you're forced, I don't want to see Belichick at all. I don't want to see either, but I definitely don't want to see Belichick.
Well, I mean, like, never forget, after
Never forget. Okay, go ahead.
After this is one of the great ones right now, but after I can't find it. But after LSU, after Brian Kelly lost his first game with LSU, there was a picture that leaked of Ed Orgeron shirtless in bed with some random girl that he met. It seemed like they were trying to let people know, like Ed Orgeron was just letting everybody know he's living his best life as a national champion while Brian Kelly's mad about losing to LSU. I'm going to freak Dave out because I'm just having too much fun with this. But Dave, you look at this. Look at Ed Orgeron.
Oh, no. What the H? My goodness.
Yeah.
What the H?
That is awful. Who?
She posted it.
Yes, she did. He sure as heck didn't. And why is he okay with a selfie?
Because what's he got to worry about? He's 60 something and he's a bachelor and he ain't coaching anywhere.
I could have gone my entire life and definitely the rest of the day without seeing that picture.
I ruined Dave's eyes.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dylan brings up a good point. At least Coach O looks like he's having fun. Bill looks like that girl has him on a leash. Yeah, Bill looks miserable.
Yes. One also seems like he's got the energy to, keep things going when he wants to. Because I don't know if Bill does.
Yeah, I think probably before those intimate moments with Bill, there's probably like 4 or 5 pills that have to be taken.
Exactly. Where are those?
That's my wife. What the H?
Well, if that's true, Dave, your wife is hot enough to sleep with Ed Orgeron, a national championship winning football coach who coached a Heisman winner. Let's just say that out loud, Dave. Ed Orgeron won a national championship and coached a Heisman winner.
Sam says that's off the hook. Indeed it is.